forgot a few things, so we tried to make this quick. But when I was talking about the dogs, there was some stuff I left out, some other stuff I left out earlier with some other topics. But the dogs have a 2-year-old mindset. Even if they're 11, 12, 13, 14 years old, they don't grow out of it. They A cat will always run into the shadows, and when there's danger will run and hide in the shadows and then observe, and then take it from there, decide if it needs to attack or run away. Most times it's just going to run away. That's why I got the name Scaredy Cat, but it's not scared, not like that. If you corner that cat will attack. Like, man. But and when it comes to hunting, cats are way more efficient hunters than dogs. It's not even competition. But the 2-year-old mindset, you want more proof. So almost every dog, if you leave out in the middle of the woods and walk away, the dog will just stand there, or it will stay in that area and wait. And it'll wait until it dies from hunger or thirst, like a 2-year-old. It don't even, it can't even comprehend. Now, if he knows the way to get home, he'll walk home. But if he don't know the way home, he'll just wait, and he won't hunt. The cat will hunt. The cat will eventually just move on. Realize he got left. Realize he's abandoned. He got to figure it out. The dog won't. Yeah. Something's off. None of them dogs have souls. None. Another reason why we in the underworld is Cerberus, or something. How you say his name? The Hellhound. Like, these are all hints. Like, yeah. Labs, creating a lab. Yeah, when I was talking about, another thing I forgot to explain was when I was talking about the Moore stuff earlier, I was talking about maritime laws. We're under maritime laws. When you go in the courtroom, you're under maritime laws. So that's why I was talking about the berthing and the mooring and the dock. And since we're considered a fish out of water, that's why I was saying the school, you're fools in school. The school of fools. For mermaids. Like, but you're considered a fish out of water. Moors out of water. Even if you look at, like, when they're talking about the Moors, no matter how you feel about the Moors, you got people called Mormons. You got school called Morehouse. So many people named Moors. Like, their last name is Moors. Moors this, Moors that, Moors. Yeah, you can't get away from it. You're like, yeah. Nobody ever paid attention, like, and put it together. Yeah, in America, AMER, America, and that Ka is for Khan, like Genghis Khan, American, Amor-Khan, Amori means love, Amor. Yeah, there's no way around this. Like, you either you're more rich, or you ain't shit. Or you is shit, I should say. You know, even when you gotta understand, like, I try my best to try to say the words correctly, but I still mess up. I've been saying the words wrong all my life, just like y'all. So even when I say don't get it twisted, twisted is good if you know what I mean. Everything spirals, curls. like when you say, when I talk about relationships, I say you should be in a straight relationship. But if you know what I really mean, you know everything's reversed, right? What I'm trying to say is a man and a woman belongs together. That's it. And But that's called a straight relationship these days. It's just words, wordplay. You gotta read in between the lines. I don't say chase your blessings because I know that's be less. You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't use the word black because black it means evil. All these people call themselves black. Black means evil. Black means pale. Black means deaf. Why would I want to call myself that? Everybody's like, well, no, that's not it. Then why they call everything that has to do with evil or deaf black, and then they call certain people that too. Even the word Negro is so close to the word necro, and necro means deaf. Necrophilia. Like, come on. Everything was flipped on us. We went from Moors to black, and when we went to black, we lost all our rights. And all of a sudden, we're fighting for privileges. Now we got civil rights. Those are called privileges, and the reason why those are a bunch of BS is because they can take them away anytime. And you think I'm playing? They have to vote on it every so X amount of years. They keep voting to extend it. Why do they keep voting to extend something? If you had rights, because you don't have rights, it's privileges. It's a corporation. You're considered property. When I was in the military, I knew I was considered property there, but I did not know outside the military I was also considered property. Everybody in the military does know they're owned by the government. They say once you sign the dotted line, you sign away, you sign away your life. And it's true, but it's actually before that too. It's just even more serious. It's way more serious, and they don't even hide it in the military. They own you. That's why they inject you with a whole bunch of shots and vaccines, and they don't even tell you what it is. Like as soon as you walk in the military, they say pull out your arm. They just poke. Like I got like 8, 9 different shots. Like immediately, I had no clue what it was, and then every single year I got at least about 3. You know. Then if I got deployed, I got more. Came back, I got more. They were running tests. These are all tests. These are all experiments. Because they think they own you. But that's also why they have a bunch of veteran hospitals here. If you think about it, police, they go through stuff. They get shot at. They ain't got no hospitals. Just the military has hospitals. Like, it's for a reason, because the military was 100% test subjects. And they trying to make super soldiers, the best everything for the corporation, to protect the corporation. That's run by a civilian CEO and his board, their cabinets. Like I tried to explain to somebody, it was like when the president sits at a table and he has like his directory, he has his board of directors. They all have different job titles like Secretary of Defense, Secretary of Treasury, stuff like that. I don't know all the names. But if people not putting together, that's the same thing as the president's CEO, then you got one as CFO, then you got one as COO. They just changed the title names. It's a corporation. They come up with mostly budgets. It has to do with mostly money. It's always been a corporation. But the only thing is they think they own you. Even like prisons. Prisons, let's say you got like a 350-year sentence and you died in prison. They won't even release your body. They won't. They will bury you on prison grounds. Because you're property to them. But they got a rude awakening coming. Oh man, they never owned some people. They think they own the planet too. That's why they keep poking her, taking her blood. They call it oil. They just keep poking her, killing all the animals, chopping down all the trees, making her suffer, making her feel pain. Yeah, but karma always comes back. Everything goes in a circle. What you do to others comes back to you. So if you do good to others, good comes back to you. If you do bad to others, bad comes back to you. That's how it goes. So that's why I said years ago, the Moors fell. And even though the Moors fell, well, it was the Moors' fault that they fell. They did some bad things. Karma came back, so we had to be punished. 400 a year punishment, but that punishment's up now. We did that time. Now we're going back up, rising back up. We rising back up, and for us to rise back up, the woman has to be on the top. I know some people they just can't. They can't swallow it. That it's really all about the women. Like take this for example. I already explained about the nipples. You got men have nipples, right? So you already know you're a copy of a woman if you got nipples. Just because you're bigger, it confuses you. But you have nipples, you're a copy of a woman. More proof that you're a copy of a woman? Okay. You take a little boy and a little girl. Let's say from the ages of 1 to the age of 10 or 11 years old. Or let's say even 13 for some people. You don't cut that little boy's hair and you don't cut that little girl's hair, you won't be able to tell the difference. You'll think they both little girls. Because you're a copy of the women. Men come out of women, not women come out of a man's rib. That don't make any sense. Why would a woman come out of a man and a man already had nipples? Nipples are to breastfeed. I mean, it's to feed the children. Men don't know their place. If you don't know your place, you need to look at the bees. The problem is the women fell. The women fell. Like nowadays, women want to let you know that men put them in bondage, which is true. But they don't understand how that happened. It happened because women were acting a fool. They were hoeing around. They just wanted to party. They left all the children for their men to watch and babysit. They were acting a fool. So then their sons were allowed to rule over them. And then their sons were acting a fool. And then the new creation was allowed to rule over all of them. That's how it went. Man. And until people understand about the place of women, they're not gonna get it. Yeah. Even in the womb, like, I mean, technically speaking, everybody starts off as a woman, like, in the womb, and then some men grow third leg. But yeah, everything about women. But see, in this hell, men marry women, which is stupid. Like, why would you go to a church, a building that has death? The same place where you bury, where you have funerals at, it's the same place you get married at. That's disgusting. You wouldn't eat a 5-course meal on a shitty toilet. Like, but that's what y'all doing. Then y'all put up a cross of death again above. Like that's disgusting. But a marriage between a man and a woman, it doesn't happen in a church. It happens when the penis enters the vagina. Excuse my language. If you're offended by that. That's called the unity. That's the union. That's the bond. Nowadays, everybody's like, I gotta have sex first before to see if I need to get married to this person and see how it is. What? Everything's backwards. That's why everybody having abortions and going all crazy and stuff. And and to the men, like, only the women can leave, not the men. Like that's how it is. The women are first. The women is the prize. So only women can leave the relationship, and the relationship's over once another man enters. But nowadays, it's men cheating. That's because there's more women on this planet than men. So women are starting to fight for men, and women like women nowadays, anyways, too. So, but there's always been an abundance of women, more women than men. And then you put on top all the men are either in wars or in prisons, See, women are going even more crazy than men. Like, but the whole thing about marriage is you're already married once you have sex. That's the unity. That's the bond. What they're doing in the church is, and remember the scripture said, "There's no God in any building made by man's hands." So that's because God dwells inside you. The Most High dwells inside you, inside, not outside. But when you go to get married, that's a play on the word Mary. Like the bride of so-called Yahushua, uh, or do you call Jesus? Let's go get married. Let's go get married. As in, let's go find her. Like, and then they also got like even during Christmas, you got Christ. You got Christmas. That's Christ massacre. And they say Merry Christmas, Merry Christ massacre. She's the Christ. Y'all just been hating on women since the beginning of time. Women hate on women. They put all they love. Like you ain't supposed to a real marriage, a real bond. Woman and a man, they work as partners, but the man goes on the outside as much as possible and try to handle business for his queen, for his for his family too. But all the roles got confused nowadays. Like women think to get married, you have to go to church. You going into Satan's house when you go to church. How you go? Like I said, why you go? That's the only time you put the veil over. That's the only time you cover your face. When you're walking down the aisle to get married. What the? Y'all a bunch of crazy heathens. Man. And then y'all make fun of all the so-called Islam women around the world that cover their face all the time. Like, yeah. Y'all wear a bunch of skimpy outfits. The women wear a bunch of skimpy outfits. This is why the women fell. You say something when a man has his butt cheeks hanging out, when his boxing shorts are hanging out, and he's sagging too much, when his butt's hanging out, and that is tacky, and that's a gay form in the prison. That's let everybody in the prison know you're available. But y'all women walk around with a bunch of cleavage hanging out. That's the opposite of butt cheeks. It's breasts. It's the opposite. As above, so below. Of course, every man's gonna be looking. You got every man's attention. Women fell first. And men took over. They made it history. But we going back up. We rising back up now. We fell, and now we rising back up. So the woman has to be put back on the throne. But can she go back on the throne today? Most no, not today. There's a few that could. There's a few. Most no. Even most of the ones talking on YouTube, no, because they don't even know that they were the reason they were their own downfall. Until they know that they were their own downfall, they're not ready. They still blaming men. Like they blaming men so bad, they're really starting to hate men. Like hate men totally. When not all men was always against them. I'm not against them. I want to see them back on the throne. Why are you mad at me? Yeah, I'm mama's son. Yeah, so, but like when you get to like the so-called like the 5Ds, and some people don't they be like, well, the 5Ds is the change within your body. Yeah, that's true. It is. And when I was talking about like disciples and apostles and stuff, when I was talking about apostles in the last video, when I said they killed all the apostles, they really killed them all. A lot of people like, no. Esoterically speaking, those are the planets, those are the chakras. Yes, you're right. Yes. You don't get it. As above, so below. As within, so without. It is a war here, there's a war there. The stars up there represent the people down here. All these stories go together. You can't separate them. All the stories are about to line up. All the realms, everything is about to line up for the grand finale. This is changing to something totally different now. This is the end of the last cycle of this big era. We're going into something new now. When I say something new, everybody else will get left behind here, or their body don't crystallize or change over. Like I said, this is gonna be a wasteland. The Mother Earth's, who is a daughter right now, she's about to become a Mother Earth. Her essence, her soul, is gonna leave this. It's gonna leave. This will be like a snake skin left behind. Yeah. So the world, Earth is considered the heart chakra to be correct. The heart. Earth is heart backwards. Soul, SOLSULSOIL. Heal, HEALHEEL. HELL. Hell. But you're gonna see a lot of people talking now because what's going on now, everybody's awakening, and this is the Aquarian age. So everybody's starting to wake from their slumber. And a lot of people about to get exposed for the crazy stuff they did. Everything's changing. You about to have new people. Everybody wants control of this land in America and in the Caribbean and South America. But it's because, like, when you look at Florida, a lot of people don't realize, like, of the southern part of Florida, just the southern part is the Caribbean. It's part of the Caribbean. But because it's not called that, people think it's not. But it looks exactly the same as Cuba or any other place in the Caribbean, because it is the Caribbean. And not only that, Florida is the real Garden of Eden. The real one. Everybody thinks it's somewhere else, or no. That's why everybody's coming here. That's why everybody's trying to buy the land. Everybody's trying to own the land. That's why I was talking about the Chinese. They bought everything. Everybody thinks that this is for sale. I'm not for sale. My body's not for sale. I'm a child of the Most High. You don't want this war. But you won't get it. You don't own my mind. You don't own my soul. You don't even own this flesh. You don't own the earth. You won't have no claim. I don't care how much fake money you have. You don't own nothing. But all around the world, everybody's collecting gold. That's what they're not telling you. In America, they're collecting digital currencies. But all around the world, they're collecting gold. You should probably start collecting some gold too. The currencies is over. Yeah. The world's changing.